Oh, upon the site, what's that song? There was a man. He went by the username Andy Herman. He uploaded a song, both punk and pop. Upon listening, one could say it was quite a bop. We asked for information with any weight or bearing, but only learned he had downloaded this song from file sharing. Oh, and one last thing, and then that is all. The name of the song, case file 102250, Downfall. No, I'm not going to do the rest of the video like that as much as I'd like to. So, fairly into the search, legendary Lostwave sveta sveta found a song called Save Me Now by a band called Downfall that existed on MySpace. Yes, MySpace used to host thousands and thousands of indie bands until a failed data migration killed them. Also, I have a conspiracy theory that was entirely intentional, but that's best left for another video. Anyway, this seemed like a really good lead since the song contained the lyrics "Save Me Now" multiple times. Meanwhile, we discussed another Lostwave song, Fixation, as many found the vocalists sounded similar and wondered if both this song and Fixation were from the same artist, with Fixation also being a song that got its name from the name it had been downloaded with years ago from a file sharing service. Quickly thereafter, the song Save Me Now was ruled out, though not before we learned the lead singer of Downfall, Dennis, had their own lost samples. Literally, their own Lostwave. We went back to discussing what we could, including whether the song would actually qualify as pop punk. PartyTom suggested it could be emo or goth rock, though pop punk also wasn't out of the question. Then we were lucky enough that the What's That Song poster was active and willing to join Discord. This was on the now defunct Dance for Hours a Day server, which still holds a soft spot in my heart as well as many others. Sveta got the ball rolling by asking all the sorts of questions you'd want to ask a What's That Song original poster. Seriously, this is a shining example of some good questions to ask, though some of these are somewhat song-specific. Original poster AndyInk started answering our questions, giving some relative confirmation to a 2008 metadata date on the Downfall MP3. He also explained some of the types of music he liked and where he found music, which did include MySpace as well as music blogs. We also did the classic lyrics analysis, including much discussion about the meaning of the lyric "Damn Them All 153," discussing potential religious significance of that lyric, though we also discussed the idea that it could just be the dates of a bunch of months grouped together. And original poster Andy entered the contest for most helpful original poster by not only continuing to answer questions, but trying to aid in the search himself, including sending it to a DJ friend of his. Sveta found yet another band called Downfall who sounded fairly similar, though they weren't an exact match. However, it was pointed out that they didn't exist until 2012 and were effectively ruled out. We all tried to think of every service and way to search for Downfall we could. Heck, I even checked to see if it was some release group or username, but that led nowhere. The good news was, over on the Follow My Mind Discord server, it was channel poll time, and Downfall was definitely winning. No question about it, Downfall was getting a channel. Except, it wouldn't get a channel. End of Act 1. Your arrival, you must understand, has been foretold, and I've been sent to make a proposition most bold. If my content you enjoy, then by these rules thou must abide. I beseech thee to click the buttons, like, and subscribe. Act 2. So, why didn't it get a channel? Well, because overnight, Sveta and Erin had solved it. Downfall was The Downfall of a Well-Known Actress by Fair Verona. How was this solved? Well, Last.fm, which quite notably had also been used to solve Dance for Hours a Day. And if that's a solve you'd like to hear about, please let me know in the comments below. Anyway, Erin used the Last.fm API to pull about 8,000 results for the term downfall, and Sveta then applied filters to it and researched a lot of possibilities alongside Erin before finding Fair Verona, going to an archived version of their website, and officially getting confirmation they were the artist responsible. Also, interestingly enough, confirming the song was not from 2008, but from 1999. Sveta explained she believed it was from an unreleased album called Note to Self, and PartyTom used a tool called Music Brains with a Z to find that, in fact, Note to Self was a cancelled release. Oh, and in case you were wondering, Fixation was clearly a different band, and still remains unsolved. It now has a channel on the Find My Mind Discord. We tried to find out more about the band Fair Verona, like finding their guitarist, Shauna Potter. And yes, we also did let original poster Andy know about the solve. He was extremely excited as we filled him in with how this was solved. A few years later, he thanked us all more formally, explaining he was actually on vacation when we solved the song. Couldn't say for sure where the song had come from, speculating that it could have come from the Internet Underground Music Archive, but ultimately saying that he couldn't say it for sure. PartyTom found a podcast called Turned Out Punk that had an episode featuring Fair Verona guitarist Shauna Potter, where she discussed her musical history, including Fair Verona, and you can find a link to that in the description below. Oh, and speaking of podcasts, well, Shauna Potter agreed to answer questions in an interview with PartyTom, and here we are just a little bit later, and that interview has just been released on Shauna Potter's YouTube channel, and you can find the link in the description below. It's an hour long, and it answers all the questions you'd want to know about the song and then some. I watched it prior to filming this, and it's extremely interesting, and I thoroughly recommend watching it. So if you enjoyed this song, give Shauna some love. With that, alas, my video has come to an end. To Shauna's YouTube, thus I send. The clock has chimed, and that's my cue. Until next time. I'm Person of Distraction, and I'm now listening to.
June arrived with a bitterness so